grim weekend, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Well, it depends, really.
Was.
I mean, if you're a Waz or if you're an Auckland sports fan.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it was
I mean,
bad.
if you're from Wellington, you support whatever that team's called, the Phoenix one.
Well, I mean...
they're probably very happy.
Yep.
They couldn't have been happy with the result. So, for everyone that's miserable, there's someone that's happy.
I did wonder that, actually, when I saw that result, how smug they would be down there in Wellington, and whether they've
got nothing to be smug about.
Whether they had a watch party and sucked in.
Yeah, they'll all be.
I was inundated with a whole bunch of Phoenix fans just, suck on that, Auckland FC, and I just had to screenshot the table from the year gone by and just send an eyes emoji and go look at that. But no, that's
you lost 6-1 to Auckland FC, so your celebrations should be muted.
If you're a Chiefs fan, though, there was mana dripping off the walls of my house.
Oh, my God.
But even that, as I was talking to Manai, he goes, even that was sucked a little bit because they just absolutely murdered them.
Yeah.
What was the final score in there?
86-7 or something?
Holy shit.
How does that even happen?
Yeah, I don't know. It was the fourth highest total ever in Super Rugby history.
Yeah, because if that had been a kids' game, they'd be like, come on.
Just give us a couple of players.
Yeah.
That's what happens when I remember last year when our team played Massey, and the two guys from Massey who were men in the under 12 grade, at halftime they gave us them and evened the game right up.
Yeah.
We came quite close in the end.
Oh, that's good of them.
Yeah.
There's a non-smash the opposition rule in baseball.
I think ice hockey have that as well.
Yeah.
I think ice hockey don't do a blowout. They park the bus as well.
Yeah.
Well, just out of respect.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Because everyone knows that you can have a bad day.
Yeah, and you just keep piling 100 on them. But not rugby. You just keep the foot.
Remember that semi-final of the World Cup in Brazil, Germany-Brazil? When Germany just were doing football World Cup, they were just doing triangles, basic triangles, and scoring goals by the end. It was 1, 2, 3, and
was that South Africa? Yeah, Brazil got pumped 7-1 by Germany.
No, that was in Brazil.
It was in Brazil, wasn't it? Yeah, that's right. Because there were tears from the crowd and there was kids crying.
It was the semi-final, and it was just Germany were just
Anyway, pretty grim weekend all around, really. But there were some bright spots, which I suppose we'll get into.
Let's do it.
Yeah, okay. Live from the Export Beer Garden
Just before we start, can I just show you something?
What is it?
My girlfriend's fat shaming me because I didn't go to the gym today, so she sent me a picture of me at the end of last year to show. Do you want to be back where you were?
There's that. She's done like a Hamish Mackay to you. Because, did you see Hamish Mackay came out and he got a stomach staple?
Oh, yeah.
And the reason he did is because his wife took a photo of him sleeping on the couch with his guts out.
Yeah. So Tracy did that to me because I didn't go to the gym over the weekend, and she was like, "You've worked so hard to get back from being a fat piece of shit."
It's smart.
And
that's a real wake-up call.
Yeah.
So you're going to go to the gym tomorrow?
Fuck no, I'm going to teach her a lesson. I'm going to bulk up and see if she really loves me. I'm going to test the limits of our love by seeing how fat I can get. Because
it's good. And you know what? She deserves it.
Yeah. And then she tried to respond by sending me this picture of me on the Ryan Bridge show this morning.
Yes.
And saying, look how much better you look. And it's like, that is vacuous.
Wouldn't you just take that as job done then? Just go, you know what, maybe I'll never go back to the gym because I'm happy with how I look now.
Yeah. You're allowed to cheat day every now and then, aren't you?
You're allowed to cheat decade every now and then?
Yeah, the cheat decade. That's quite funny.
Yeah.
So how many photos has she got you like that? Just of you asleep?
The only person that has more photos of me asleep is Jeremy Wells.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
He's kept a dossier over the years.
Yes. Mainly on a plane.
Yeah.
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 Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. But you're fatter when you're asleep.
Yeah, you are, because you relax everything, don't you? Everything's out.
You're never fatter. Your neck never looks fatter than when you're asleep.
Yeah, no one looks hot. No one looks hot when they sleep, do they? No one looks overly hot.
Sleeping Beauty?
Yeah, she was hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that controversial? Well, the guy wanted a pasha.
Yeah.
Prince Charming.
There wasn't much consent going on, though, was there?
Not a lot, but it worked out.
Worked out okay.
It was good.
He took it.
I think his intentions were
good. Were pure.
Yeah,
he took a
punt.
punt.
True love's kiss, mate.
He took a punt, didn't he?
But was he a frog at that point or not? Different.
No, I think it's different fairy tale.
Is that Prince Charming?
Well, which one's the one that's bloody pashing?
That was with the dwarves.
Sleeping Beauty.
The dwarves were all cucking in the corner the whole time.
Yeah.
While she's sleeping. That's the one, eh?
Yeah. Did dwarves find full-size woman hot?
Yep.
Okay.
That was quick. How do you know that?
No, I'm just sure of it.
Did full-size woman find dwarves hot?
Yep. Different strokes for different folks.
Yep.
I mean, Can't yuck someone's yum.
Oh, I'd never yuck someone's yum. I'd yum someone's yuck all day. All right.
Okay, right. This is the live from the Export Beer Garden studio. This is the agenda for Monday, May the 26th.
The Agenda Podcast, the home of sporting nonsense and claptrap. Brought to you by Export Ultra.
I suppose there was one little ray of sunshine, and that's Liam Lawson in the weekend.
I got up to watch that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's an interesting Monaco, isn't it? Because it's such a procession. It's so beautiful, but you can't pass.
No.
And so they brought in the 2 pit stops. But then, who was it? Just crashed on the first lap, and then everyone just, it just messed it up. Everyone went in and just pitted.
Wasn't it Gasly went into the back of Sonoda, which couldn't happen to a nicer guy.
So you got all this... Just got everyone pitting and getting that pit stop out of the way. But Liam Lawson, what a team player. Basically just holding everyone up for Head G.
Yeah, hold the whole track up. That's how small that track is. What was he doing? Was he slowing down?
He was basically, a boomer in a camper van
in the fast lane.
Over the Rimatuckers, basically.
In the fast lane, and you get no way of overtaking.
And you see up a slow vehicle lane coming up and they have no interest in it.
Right, and you're like, so he basically turned himself into a road maggot.
Yeah.
Into a Maui camper van.
It's like my dad, he's got one of those camper vans and he goes away and 6 months out, he starts complaining about the tailgaters. They're going to be, he goes, when I go on this trip, it's so tailgate photos.
Yeah.
But I mean, that was tailgate city, wasn't it? Yeah. Everyone forced tailgating. Because Strap-on was doing it up the front as well.
Yeah.
So Charles Leclerc would apply pressure on Lando Norris. So you got people purposely creating tailgating. And how much was Charles Leclerc up Norris's ass? He was right up his ass. But you can be that far up someone's ass and you just can't pass.
Still can't pass.
Yeah.
Qualifying was unreal. Did you watch that?
Yeah.
That was insane. Mercedes had a shit weekend, but it was pretty much everyone was, an opportunity for pole, weren't they? I think McLarens, the Ferraris.
Well, it's interesting, isn't it? Because it's such a strange track, then the different parts of problems with cars don't become as big a problem,
Well, they do different setups, because I got sent this list of just what weird shit there is at Monaco. They've got the slowest corner of the in the whole Grand Prix circuit. It's the Fairmont hairpin. It's that one that they all have to go, and they slow down to 30 miles an hour, and the teams have to redesign their steering racks to allow for more wheel lock to get around this corner.
It's crazy.
Because it's the tightest corner in Formula One.
So does that mean whilst we celebrate Liam Lawson grabbing an 8 and getting some points, that this race is so weird it doesn't necessarily...
Oh, but you've still to be pretty good, because you've got to qualify ninth for a start to stay in that 8.
But he wasn't happy with that qualification, because in the practices he was going so much better.
Yeah. It's the shortest Grand Prix too. It's only 260 kilometres, 78 laps.
It's funny how they've got really cool names for the corners, and then one corner is just called the swimming pool corner.
Yeah, well, they also have scuba divers. When they go across the waterfront, there are scuba divers under the water ready to go to rescue drivers or fish out debris.
Shit, yeah, because if you Sonoda like you did in the last one and just went flipping right over the edge and you're locked into your car in the water, fuck, that's terrifying.
That is terrifying. But they have scuba divers all along the track, along that side.
It's annoying how good Harjo is, though. If Harjo wasn't so good, then Liam, it's just because that's obviously Liam Lawson's the direct comparison, and he's... for some reason, fucking having a blinder.
They've both got some issues, though, don't they? Because, Sonoda is not performing at all.
Yeah. You've got to say right now, Sonoda finishing in 17, that Red Bull plan with the horn dog has not.
It's not working.
Liam would have been doing better by now.
Yeah.
Hey, did you know that Monaco residents aren't allowed to gamble?
Aren't they? Even though it's the whole bloody gambling...
Yes, they have to show your passport at the thing, because it's illegal for... Monaco residents to gamble, even though they've got the world's most famous casino there.
Can you explain to me why it's a principality and not a kingapality or a kingdom?
Yeah, because it's got a royal family.
Yeah, but can they only ever be a prince?
But they're still part of the French, they've got French policemen and stuff. So it's like the Vatican. Is that a principality?
Does principality not really mean prince?
No, don't think so.
Yeah, right.
Because I was like,
why can't we get a king and then we'll be a kingdom?
That's true. But heaps of them live there. The Strap-on lives there. Lewis Hamilton, Lando Norris.
Charles Leclerc was born there.
Yeah, George Russell and Alex Albon all live there.
I'd live there if I could.
Well, you can live there too if you want, because there's no income tax, no wealth tax or local tax, property tax or capital gains tax. However, you do have to deposit €500 into a savings account there to prove that you got coin and own property.
€500.
500,000
Oh,
euros.
yeah. Well, it's got the highest percentage of millionaires in the world, hasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
What's the population? Small.
It is pretty small. It's got the world's most expensive real estate, $6,000 US per square foot.
Wow.
So it's what, 10 grand per square foot. What else has it got here? I'd suggest you're better off sleeping in France if you're visiting.
Well, I know the French can't live there and get off their taxes because I know Pierre Gasly tried to move there and there's issues around. If you're French, then you can't go there and seek refuge with all the tax relief. Yeah.
Here you go. If you want to gain residence in Monaco, Matt Heath, to obtain a residence permit in Monaco, individuals need to demonstrate sufficient financial resources, prove they have accommodation in Monaco, have a clean criminal record, you're fucked, and show they can speak, this is you're fucked again, at least 2 of the 3 main languages, English, French, and Italian.
Oh, sacre bleu.
Well, hang on. George Russell lives there. How much? Yeah, what is speaking a language?
To prove sufficient financial resources, potential residents must deposit €500,000 into a local bank account.
So you can't turn up and common tuple to them and they'll let you in.
Yeah, you can't go, yeah. I'm pretty sure most English people learn French.
Right.
So he'd be able to speak French, I'd say.
Yeah, but bonjour, oui, that's fine.
Chalecleux.
Chalecleux.
Yeah.
Yes, there you go. You can do a few of
so
those.
he's French. Well, no, he's not.
Chalecleux
He's Monacan.
He's what do they call it? It's called a
Monetian?
It's a Monaco, because he was saying it at the end of the race. He was going,
here he goes. Monganese.
Yeah, Monganese. He was saying there's not many of us Monganese.
He sounds like a dog. It's Mongoesque.
Mongoesque.
I don't know how to say that, but like down the bottom there, the second.
Yeah, I remember him saying it, and I was thinking.
I just said Monacan, and I feel like that's even easier than all the options.
Right down the bottom.
Monarchy.
Yeah, but it's got a Q at the end.
Yeah, he said it, and at the end I was like, wow, that's how you say it.
Yeah. Anyway.
Are there just schools there and stuff? There must be.
Yeah.
Oh,
weird.
Yeah.
You go to school on a super yacht.
Fuck yeah. I was reading somewhere that the biggest super yacht there this year was about 147 metres long.
Have you seen Lewis Hamilton's yacht? Lewis Hamilton's got a pretty flash yacht.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
I saw $1.5 million to park your yacht there over the weekend. Also, I think you have to sponsor a team if you want to get front row. I was watching this one Instagram account that I follow. It's actually really good. Is just this one guy filming his phone calls that he has with his clients, and it's a whole bunch of Formula One nuts and sponsors and all that, just calling him up and going, "Hey, I want a front row yacht, trackside at Monaco," and he just kind of sort out the deal. It doesn't sound interesting, but it's really interesting to just hear how the other half live. But yeah, about $2.5 to $3 million all up to get a yacht trackside.
See, this is why billionaires are miserable.
Yeah,
and people with $500 million are miserable because there's another billionaire will pipe up and just have something slightly better than you.
That's the thing.
So it's got 12,000 millionaires living in a country smaller than New York's Central Park.
Holy shit!
So there you go. So yeah, it's the most expensive Grand Prix to go to.
Is that really how small it is geographically?
Yeah,
that's tiny.
Yeah, it's just on the coast there. It is tiny.
Fuck me.
And there are only 37,000 tickets available. Like, you can compare that to the US Grand Prix in Austin is 120,000 tickets. So there you go.
Okay, happy days.
$16,000 US for a 3-day luxury experience if you want to go watch that.
Everyone looks hotter in Monaco as well, don't they?
Yeah.
The broadcast was just
and that list of things, you have to be hot.
Oh, yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you could put billions of dollars in there and they'd be like, no.
In the middle of the night last night, about 1:20 a.m., my partner was talking about how hot Charles was. Actually, it was about 12:40.
You think she's got a photo of him asleep?
Probably. But and then a picture of Lando Norris's girlfriend popped up, and I went, "Holy smoke!" And she said, "Dirty old man."
Yeah.
I was like,
and rightfully so.
Rightfully so. That is disgusting, Matt.
I was like, you were literally just objectifying Charles Leclerc seconds before.
Yeah. Did you see when they showed Charles Leclerc's girlfriend in the pit lane?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
A couple of shows.
Who would have thought that Charles Leclerc would have a hot girlfriend?
Who would have thought?
What are the chances that
he just struck it lucky?
What is it about really, really hot women that attracts F1 drivers? And what is it about really, really hot women that are attracted to incredibly good-looking, incredibly wealthy F1 drivers? I mean, what does she see in Charles Leclerc?
I don't know. His hair?
His hair's good. He has to fluff his hair up, doesn't he, before? Yeah. You always see before he takes the helmet off and he spends a bit of time to fluff that hair up and get that fringe going before the He's
got a great YouTube channel, Charles Leclerc. His mother cuts his own hair.
Oh, does she?
As I learned while watching his YouTube channel,
Yeah, I saw that. It was on Drive to Survive as well.
Mum's quite hot, actually.
Mum was very focused, very hair focused. She cuts his hair before we race.
Ah.
But she doesn't take much off.
Well, she can't because he needs to have that. He needs a good amount of curl and he needs a good amount of fringe.
I wouldn't trust her, actually. Watching Drive to Survive and seeing her behind those scissors, they were like kitchen scissors, and she's like, got him in the bathroom. I'm like, come on, mate.
Does that affect aerodynamics? Because it like makes your helmet just sit up just a couple of hairs too high.
Yeah.
And then you get like up suck on your helmet.
Up suck.
Charles Leclerc the other day was complaining about up suck.
Charles Leclerc seems to be suffering from some upsuck.
Apparently what can happen is if you get things slightly wrong, there becomes an area of low pressure above your head around the halo, and it starts pulling your helmet up, and your head's going. And apparently it's really freaking horrible when you get upsuck.
You sounded like a weather forecaster there. Area of low pressure. Formed over north of Charles Leclerc.
Yeah, get the weather girl Dan Corbett who goes, we've got an area of low pressure just above Charles Leclerc's head, travelling around the track at about 250 kilometres an hour.
So the European leagues, we've got another one next weekend, I gather. So they're straight into probably, where are they going?
Yeah, where are they going?
Austria or somewhere. Go to the Red Bull Ring.
It's the type of thing we should know.
Nah, worry about it on Friday.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So
anyway, good on you, Liam.
I got something. Yeah, good on. It's good actually because I was worried there that luck was not going to go his way.
No,
I was worried it was compounding. So hopefully this is.
He's got points now.
Yeah, hopefully this turns the tide.
And there's still a long way to go.
Yeah,
and you just have to have 5, even 3, 4, 5 good races in a row, and F1 and people start going. Great season.
Yeah,
and people forget everything.
Yeah, and you can then sign them up for a car that can actually win. That'd be good.
Yeah.
Those Williams cars are ones to watch as well, aren't they?
Yeah.
I feel like they're on the comeback now.
Yeah.
Ever since signing, I suppose it's Albon that's doing all the heavy lifting, but
ever since Williams Jr.
Departed,
things have been going a little bit better.
Who was that new guy? He's been quite a good watch actually on Drive to Survive.
He's a massive nerd, eh?
He's a massive nerd, but he's been quite good. There was that massive drama between him and all the other teams trying to sign
Carlos
Sainz last season.
Yeah.
James, I think his name is.
Yes, that's it. Yes.
Yeah, but he's classic.
Hey, Fat Brown's a dick, eh?
Oh my God.
Fat Brown is.
He's just
Does anyone look worse in a? Look, I love McLaren, obviously, Kiwi connection, and I've got a lot of time for Oscar Piastri. But Fat Brown and looks terrible in that polo.
I like how he's doing it purely to wind up the horn dog. He's doing it purely to wind up the horn dog. Him running into the tent, going, "Come on, come on!" Like, say, "Okay, mate, okay."
Yeah. I feel like your partner Matt should maybe take a photo of Zach Brown and send it to him.
Yeah.
And just say, this is what you look like right now.
See, last night in the middle of the night, I thought I'll debut on the agenda my new nickname from Fat Brown. So
yeah,
it's gone well. Do you like it?
Yeah, I love it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just didn't feel like I got enough back from you guys when I debuted it. Fat Brown.
Hey, he's an interesting. He seems to have come out.
Wait, what?
In terms of his person, you know what I mean? He's a lot more outspoken, and it's like he's watched a couple of Drive to Survives and gone, oh fuck, maybe I should get a bit more spiky on the chat.
Yeah, right, maybe.
That's what I feel like.
Oh, you think he's walking around trying to get like sound bites for Drive to Survive?
Yeah, that's what it seems like.
I think he's jealous of airtime that the horn dog's getting.
Horn dog got
last
so
season,
much.
Jesus Christ, 75% horn dog. I think Zach Brown's had something to say about that.
Total horn dog.
Yeah.
I've got something to admit. You know how Auckland FC lost?
Yeah.
I didn't go to the game, okay? So you can don't come at me with a fucking G Lane curse.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
However,
watch the space.
In anticipation of them making the final, I bought 4,000 captain's hats to give out.
Yeah. Oh.
So
is that problematic?
Yep.
Yep.
So you're now.
So it's your fault.
Well,
do you reckon?
I'm looking for support here.
Okay, I'll tell you what.
I thought this was a safe space.
I'll tell you what might be interesting. Like we're looking around this, that Auckland FC released a vinyl record.
Yes, I got one.
Of the highlights.
This morning.
Greatest hits, yeah.
Leading up. Is that, I'm trying to work out where that sits on the Jinx scale.
I got that today. I wasn't here on Friday, so I got it today. And it was like, it was a record season. It was like, ooh.
Yeah. Do you see what I'm saying?
So who's worse, me or?
I think you can hide under the shadow of that vinyl coming out.
Okay,
well,
their record.
thank you. That's all I needed. That's why I thought this was a safe space.
I did some digging on this.
4,000 hats.
Yeah.
There were only 150 of those vinyls released. So, look, don't get me wrong, it's a jinx from Auckland FC, but at the same time, it's not,
4,000
city
captain
hats. Yeah.
Yeah, if you got anywhere I can put 4 pallets of boxes.
Could we? There's any other? It's a fucking long way to cricket season.
Yeah, I know.
It's a fucking long way.
Yeah.
Our storage room is already crammed.
Yeah, it's. Look, I mean, they'll get put to use. It's not. They're not like it's a pink fist. It's not going to. It's not a one-time use. It's not a single-use item.
Yeah.
I mean, like we could just store them. We'll just use them whenever. But I was thinking it would be quite nice to have them for the final.
When it's if you own a lot of stock in a company, you've got to choose when you sell the stock.
Yeah.
I've probably got about 4,000 captain's hats in a cupboard from wearing them to things and taking them home, so I won't dump them back on the market just yet. I'll hold on to those.
You hold on to them. At least you're honest about it, because I was at Jeremy Wells's house recently to do some filming or something, and he goes, there's something's downstairs in the cupboard in the middle downstairs. I opened the cupboard and pretty much fucking captain's hats fell on me. Because everyone goes home from the commentary with them on.
Everyone forgets to bring one and then goes home with one.
Yeah.
I've got so many.
Is this how NBA teams feel, I think, when they print all those championship T-shirts that, that they have to organise pre-game and then they lose and then...
There must be a rule about what they do with those.
Those are really valuable if you can get hold of them. Apparently, I was reading somewhere about it that they try and lock them down.
Oh, I thought they sent them to Africa or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Nah, I think they definitely destroy them.
I don't know what that meant.
They definitely destroy them. Otherwise, they'd be everywhere.
Yeah, because I can't remember who it was, but this comedian, he was meeting his wife's
sister,
his partner's dad for the first time, and he was a huge Eagles fan, and he had the hat from when the Eagles were knocked out. He had managed to get hold of it, and he thought it would be funny to wear it, as a bit of gentle ribbing, but he sort of failed to understand how much of a passionate Philadelphia arsehole the dad was, and basically it just blew up terribly, and he fucking took the hat off, stood on it, fucking still doesn't talk to him, almost refused to come to the wedding. But it'd be great to get hold of one of those. I've got the World Series hat when the Astros cheated to beat the Dodgers.
Oh yeah,
nice.
And I hold that as just a piece. It's just like a Horcrux of absolute evil that I keep in my house.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just to remind yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm glad I got that off my chest.
Yeah. Can I just say I might have jinxed both the Warriors and Auckland FC because I had corporate box invites to both games that I didn't go to.
It's a safe space. You didn't go to them?
No.
Why not?
There was just a whole lot of family admin. It just became impossible to go. So is that if you leave a hole in 2 corporate boxes, is that a jinx?
It's not great.
It's not a great look.
Yeah.
Not a great look.
Because the butterfly effect, me walking into the stadium might have just moved the air enough.
Yes.
And me talking absolute shit after 1,000 beers in a corporate box might have been just enough wind to keep that ball in.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Still, you didn't plan something around the final, though, did you?
No. No. All right.
Are we going to talk about the ball that didn't go out?
Yeah. So
what's the rules?
So once it's out, right?
Yep. You draw a straight line up from.
But does the
sideline?
Does the entire ball have to go across the line?
Correct. The entire ball has to go across the line.
Across the line.
There has to be a bit of green between the white and the ball for it to be out of play.
And so in the air, that's in the air or on the ground.
I want it to have been in.
Same.
But from my eyeballs, it looked like it went out.
Yeah, there's that screenshot that's doing the rounds, which I think Joe Jury's inflamed a few times of the ball, obviously looking in. Still.
Yeah.
The ball was in when he kicked it, I think.
The ball was in when he kicked it, and he was in when he kicked it. But
when did it go out then?
But it bananaed round.
They thought it curled out round over top of the crossbar and then came back into the field of play. That was the idea on it. But the confusion around it is usually there's technology the goal line technology they'll use on that byline to see if it's out, and they didn't use it or they didn't show it. The linesman on the opposite side of the field just ruled it out.
It's the conspiracy theory that the A-League, they allowed the Auckland FC to have their fun. They won the plate, everything. We can't stop them winning that.
Yeah.
There's no fucking way they're winning the whole thing. And they just give it a directive.
Yeah, love it.
To various officials.
Yeah. When I saw that ball, I went, oh, no, it went out. It was my first thing. But, I mean, that's not
I
the
agree
angle.
with that.
That was the angle I was watching from. And so, I mean,
on
I
TV,
could be
it felt
wrong.
like it went out.
Yeah, that's what it felt like to me when I was watching it. It just felt like I mean, the amount, I mean, it's going to curve. So it's either going to be, you're either going to be concave or convex, aren't you, in your curve?
The only thing that swayed me was
so.
when Rogerson on the back stick headed it into the goal. It was quite a wee way in the field of play at that stage. So it would have had to curl a hell of a lot to get out and then back into the field of play to some margin.
Yeah, yeah. So I don't know, but I just went, I
agree. It didn't pass the sniff test, did it?
Yeah. But they should have still let it pass. Who cares? Who fucking cares if it goes out? If it comes back in, who cares if it goes out? Let's just change the fucking rule. If you can bend it so it comes back in, who gives a fuck if it goes out?
Does that apply for corners as well? So if you curve it around behind it, that's out.
That's right. Quite often, that's why you'll take, I don't know, if you take a corner on the left-hand side of the field, you'll use a right footer to curl it back in so you don't have to worry about that type of thing happening.
I see.
But also, what's his name not fucking booting that on the first touch right at the end? Liam. What's his name? Fuck.
Gillian.
Yeah, Gillian. Like that was. I know. Fucking who can nickel and dime someone, and he probably would have skied it right over the top. But it just felt like fucking give it a boot.
Yeah.
You know,
pull the trigger
rather than pushing it so far forward. You know.
Yeah, we were technically outdone as well. There were allegations coming out of the Melbourne Victory coaching box that they thought we were one-dimensional as a side, and it seemed to unfortunately be that way. We did park the bus. Yeah. There were rumours going around last week that we might do so, and things just got a little bit
never fucking
away from
park
us.
The bus.
I know. It feels like a trap so many football teams fall into now, but whatever.
Next year.
Yeah, and also, okay, do you want my hot take on this?
Yeah, please.
I think that you can't win it in the first year, because it devalues, by not winning it the first year, people and fans realise how fucking hard it is to win it, right?
Love it, yeah.
So if you win in the first year, people go, oh, that's easy, why didn't you win it every year? You know what I mean? They go, oh, you started and you won it. It's an easy thing to do. It's incredibly hard to do it, and until teams actually spend some time in knockout footy, it's very, very hard for them to do. It takes years for your organisation to be able to operate in knockout footy in the way that you need to get through, like Melbourne obviously did. So I believe it's better for the club. I think it's better for the fandom going forward.
I agree with that.
I think they're going to be being hardened by it, and they're going to come back even more passionate next year.
I think any team that wins in their first year, there's almost an asterisk by that championship as well.
Yeah,
because it just feels like, I mean, especially with this Auckland FC thing, fans, A-League wide would have been very focused on the finances of the club and stuff like that, and it would have felt like
you need a bit of hardship for people to really fucking tattoo the club into their hearts.
Look at the Wars, baby.
Yeah, we've got so much. That's too much hardship.
Yeah,
you can have too much hardship.
Yep. You're right. That's some PTSD.
Once it goes past 2 decades of hardship, that's...
Yeah. Okay, we'll take a quick break because we're going to touch on that.
Got to meet in the middle somewhere.
In just a minute. We don't want to go too much into the weeds of the Wars because the Mad Monday...
Never heard anyone say the weeds of the Wars. That's a great saying.
Sounded good.
It's because Ben Hurley and Di Henwood, they're way into the weeds of the Wars.
That's the title for our episode. Great. Thanks,
the Raiders had our number again.
Yeah.
In some pretty horrific conditions. And some slightly odd decisions. I know we got a couple that went our way from the bunker. But there were some obvious shoulder charges to the head that just was playing on.
That was a fucking brutal.
I know. It was like, how do you miss that?
I should know the answer to this question. Who the fuck is their number 10? He was pissing me off all game.
Oh, he's the captain.
Yeah, he's a Kiwi, isn't he?
Yeah, he was. Did you see the guy at the very end, run to the stand and do the mocking the mana waves?
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Oh.
He would have done well to get out of there alive.
Yeah.
He was over there and he was like, obviously mocking someone in the crowd was obviously giving him shit. And he just fully mana waved.
But we've got to appreciate that because we don't get any special treatment. The idea sometimes I think the Warriors fans feel like they need to be treated in a special way. It's just like the teams should come and mock you for whatever you do. That's
if they win,
it's absolutely.
That's how much they hate coming here.
But what about that captain's challenge that upgraded to? What a shit captain's challenge
One
that
of the
was.
Great moments.
One of the great moments. It's like, oh yeah, okay. Well, since you've done that, we've noticed that you fucking smoked him right in the face. So
yeah, I think there was a.
So put that on report.
There was a desperation one because I think he knew that was going to happen, and it was just a hope that he wouldn't. Because I think they still had a captain's challenge left.
Right.
So because he had one before which was successful, which means you retain it.
But at that point, if you knew it was going to happen, you're upgrading your players. punishment potentially. I mean, that's going to be probably a.
Was that the captain's challenge on the late tackle with the
him around on the face? Yeah,
the guy was such a nugget. That guy got sent off. He had to physically jump in the air to get him around the head.
Yeah. His legs are too short. Has someone checked he's got regulation length legs? Those legs are too short, I think, and his torso's too long.
Yes, and he was a very odd shaped
man.
And
he's bow-legged, too short of legs, too long a torso, having to jump up to commit a fucking horrific
with a minute to go
attempt to take another human's face off.
Yeah, not a great weekend at Go Hard Stadium. So Di and Ben will have that with the Mad Monday podcast out later today. Super Rugby touched on really at the start. Good weekend for the Hurricanes, getting another victory. It was a torrid affair between the Crusaders and the Highlanders on Friday. The Crusaders made hard work of that one. It was a real torrid affair. We talked about Moana. Moana put the
It's one of those things with Moana Pacifica because it's just the high's so high, the low's so low. I mean, to go from that incredible high where basically Adi Severe is more powerful than Jesus to absolutely fucking smoked.
Yeah, and the wheelie bin obviously took an absolute hiding in Albany last week, but not this week. It stayed safely tucked away in the team van. So the playoff positions are all going to come up to this weekend because Blues and Moana are still tied for the 6th. And Moana have Hurricanes. Who are the Blues got? The Blues got the Retards.
Waratahs, yeah.
So that's probably an easy W for them. And then it goes to how many games you've won.
An easy W for the Blues.
Yeah.
Well, let's look at the season. And let's look at how the Blues have looked to capitalise on their advantages.
As I said that, I was like, there's no easy win for the Blues. There's no easy win for the Blues.
I'll be there. I've got a seat in the corporate box for that.
Good. Well, okay. Now you can.
Oh, thanks.
I'll be there.
Hey, I won't be. I'll be commentating it. Okay, so you keep that in mind.
Yeah. I think it's good to keep me in a corporate box because the glass protects my butterfly effect on the game. Because I can move around in there without the butterfly effect.
Will you have your Blues kit on?
Yep.
Obviously.
Yep.
Yeah. Put away the Highlanders kit.
I only wear the Highlanders kit.
Surely you put that away for the year because they're.
Yeah, it's not been great, is it?
No.
It's a real trait of NZ Sport fans to think that we are the ones that are kind of impacting the game result.
Oh yeah, magical thinking.
You go over to the UK and the Premier League and shit, and if your team has a shit game, you just hound them, and it's all the team's fault, and it's all these technical things that went wrong.
It's true. We're self-loathers.
But I've always been the type of guy to think that the reason that we lost the game was because I went or didn't go or whatever. Like, it's not our fault. I don't think the glass between.
Apart from the scientifically proven Grim Lane curse, there's no actual. Magical thinking that's really real.
Yeah. Let's just put it to bed. And the yours pleaser last week brought it up. If I go to the Super Rugby final in Hamilton to support the Chiefs, that's not a curse because it's my team and they're playing at home.
Yeah, but then
feels cursey.
Yeah, I don't know because how long have you lived in Narrowneck now, Lane?
I have.
Can someone living in a Narrowneck palace in the by the beach in the incredibly flash North Shore suburb on the northern beaches really claim to have strong Hamilton
I'm
roots?
hard. I mean, like I got.
I know you lower the value of the. What you do is you lower the capital gain in that neighbourhood.
Yes.
By being such a punishing Waikato fucking Chiefsman or wounder. But I don't think that equates to you being able to claim any kind of grassroots credibility back home.
What if I told you I've ordered 2,000 cowbells due to arrive the Matariki weekend? And there's special ones when you ring them at Play Sandstorm.
Oh, that's definitely a curse.
Could you make a captain's hat cowbell? So it's not on your head.
Don't give them ideas.
It's like,
do it.
It rings.
We've got no money left in the kitty.
No, there's no money. I've emptied it. Okay, so it's the last round of Super Rugby this weekend before the finals. So feels like Super Rugby to me is about 4 or 5 weeks too long.
Yeah.
Do you think?
It feels like the ear starts to come out of it because you sort of know what's going on in a way. I don't know.
Yeah, I find it's just a bit too...
But yet the NRL is much longer, but yet the NRL has much more teams.
Yes, they do. Way more teams.
Yeah. So... Because you start coming around and you go, how many times have we played everyone already?
Yeah, and then you have buys. A couple of weekends you have buys. It's like, why are we having buys? Just slash it into 7 weeks and let's go.
Yeah. Turn it into, the bloody Six Nations. You just play each other once.
Like a World Cup format.
Yeah, you play each other once.
Straight
and then
knockout. Straight into club rugby. Straight into NPC. Boom. Speaking of...
just do a super weekend and we'll do it on one weekend. You do a draw.
Yeah.
Everyone plays each other, and then like when you're a kid and you go away to go away on a sports tournament. It's all decided across the weekend.
Yes, you go to Taupo and you play 3 games. And there's a winner at the end. There's about 1,000 teams. You get billeted out.
I'm glad we're all loving Super Rugby this year.
How good was it when the Matt and Cherry show got that call from that guy that had been billeted with the Banes?
Oh, yes, that's right.
So that's outrageous.
Some tournament in Dunedin. I think it was an Easter tourney, and then got billeted with the Banes.
I have to dig that podcast up.
That's the name of it.
And went and played cricket with David and Stephen Bain. He said that fucking David Bain was a horrific bowler, like terrible round arm action.
I can imagine.
Short and wide.
Yeah, terrible. No pace.
I can imagine he'll be awful.
Yeah. Stephen was decent, apparently.
Bit of pace.
And duckers.
Anyway, that would be. I wonder how many people he's told that too.
If it was me, I'd have told everyone.
Yeah, I know. And it's like, surely someone would have gone and goes, oh, my mate got billeted. But the fact he rang you and ran you through his whole scenario.
Yeah.
Who was the Baines' old man?
Robin.
Was Robin...
In the
I can't remember what he said about Robin.
He said that Robin, because they didn't have any doors on the house. They just had curtains,
That's right, yeah.
Groom houses. Yeah. And so at 1 point at 3 a.m. he woke up and Robin was peering his head through the curtain.
Ooh.
Just checking on the 2 boys that were sleeping in the lounge. But at the time,
he might have just been doing the rounds, as dads do late at night.
Well, yeah, he slept down in the caravan, so he didn't know who was in the house. He probably just went in and go, oh shit, there's a couple of billeters in the lounge. Yeah.
This Wednesday is State of Origin.
Wow.
It's kicking off. That's why the weekend's NRL results were so haywire, because all the teams get stripped of their best players. So it's a terrible weekend for punting unless you go on the underdogs. So, bit of a free swing opportunity with the TAB, because place 3 or more legs on the same game multi, and if it loses by 1, 2, 3, or any number of legs, TAB will cover your bet with up to $25 bonus cash. So it's pretty free swing on the same game multi. There, up to $25. So fill your boots, download the TAB app. Also, bet responsibly, Matt. Okay.
I will.
Yep. We'll be back just a moment, because we've got a few yours pleases to get through from the weekend.
Yours please. Brought to you by Export Ultra.
Righto. First one for this week. Yours please.
Hey fellas, on the subject of a shitload, remember many years ago, Floating Days and Dunners, we had a competition throughout the year where we'd weigh ourselves before and after heading to the toilet to see who could do the biggest dump. But
smart.
We soon figured out that shit doesn't weigh as much as you think. And people were cheating the system by just doing lots and lots of wheeze. Liter of wheeze, you lose a kilogram.
It's so funny you say that, because I was this morning, I weigh myself most mornings at the moment. I'm trying to lean down so I can do a bit more running, and I jumped on the scales, and then I did have to sit down and take a shit, and I then thought to myself, I reckon I must be a couple of 100 grams lighter here, and then jumped on the scales, and I wasn't.
Wow.
And I couldn't believe it, and I thought I'd just done quite a big one.
What's it made of that's so light?
Well,
is it full of air?
You know where this discussion came from? Because we're talking about people saying, I drank a shitload last night. Well, what's a shitload? Like, is it subjective? A shitload for you could be a different shitload than me. And then everyone's got technical around the average load is between 150 and 200 grams, so it's not much.
Wow.
It just expands like clay when it leaves you to make it look big.
Right. So and I imagine as soon as it gets into the bowl, it absorbs quite a lot of water.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Like one of those toys that you get when you're younger and you put them in a cup of water for about 2 weeks, and then a lizard turns into a 3-foot long snake. Yeah.
Yeah, because we got some excavation done under our house, and it was all clay. And they said, it'll be like, we're going to get rid of, 10 square meters or such and such. But obviously, clay expands and it'll be about 25 square meters by the time we get it. It was like, oh, bullshit.
Yeah.
And then sure enough, they pull the clay out like a turd, just instantly air gets in it, like you're saying, and it gets all spongy.
Yeah. And the reverse effect of that is when you fry bacon. You realise that the supermarket's just pumped it full of water to make it look like a decent amount of bacon, and you're cooking it and it becomes this tiny little thing. It's like, they sold me a lot of water.
Yeah. So there you go.
What was the question?
No, he was just talking about shitloads.
Yeah.
He was saying
so he concurs that it doesn't weigh that much.
Doesn't weigh that much, and it's really the wheeze.
That's fascinating. I would have loved to have a front row seat to that flat when they all kind of, single file lined up for the bathroom.
Have you ever been in one of those flats that on a weekend someone will institute a no flushing rule?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with that rule, no.
Yeah, I've been involved in one of those.
A no flushing rule. Often...
Boys only, really.
Yeah, it's only... you don't get a lot of girl flatmates instituting a no flushing rule across the weekend.
No.
What's it? Maybe we should change...
Shits as well?
Yep.
Okay.
No, like everything, just a no flushing rule across the weekend. Like someone will just on a Friday afternoon
don't say it.
Lay down a no flushing rule.
It's like playing the red card.
It feels like a red card.
And you're like,
red card.
Is everyone excited when you pull the no flushing rule?
No. It's not,
sort of a depression comes across the flat.
But you don't, if you're sensible, you do all your ablutions elsewhere. Like
in your girlfriend's house.
Or or the pub.
Girlfriend's house, the ensuite.
Yeah.
My question is, though, why would you pull the no flush? Is it water bill?
Why wouldn't you?
I think you do it just to be a dick.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna try that this weekend with my partner. I'm gonna say I'm instituting a no flushing rule in the ensuite.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Good idea.
Okay.
You know what you should do?
You let us know how that goes. Because I'm picking it's not going to go well for you.
Do you usually kind of instigate the no flushing rule after you've taken a shit yourself? Like, are you trying to get yourself out of it? Is that the type of thing you do? Do you kind of take a large one, a shitload of one, and then you come out of the bathroom and go, rightio guys, tough titties, no flushing rule from here on out?
Well, if you got kids under the age of 10, they operate a no flush rule anyway.
That's true.
Go in there and you're like, who the fuck did that?
Yeah.
And Frankie, I did. Like, why didn't you flush it? And also,
no time.
Yeah, no time. Also, there's no paper in there. What have you done? He's like,
by not flushing, you've incriminated yourself of 2 crimes.
Yes. He was like, and his answer to me, clean break.
Clean break.
It's a clean break.
It's hard to argue with that.
It was a clean break. Maybe we should change it to a bladderful then. I had a real bladderful last night.
Yeah.
So if you hold more in your bladder than you do in your bowel, then why are we saying shitload?
Wait, does piss more away than shit?
Well, he was saying you could probably wee a litre.
Yeah.
It's a kg.
Sure.
We're talking poo-poos are like 120 to 200 grams. That's like half a block of butter.
Okay. That's a fascinating conversation. We're going to continue that at a later date. Yep.
Yeah.
Your next one. Yours, please.
Hey, guys. Me again. I've had some time to cool down. I realise if you're not going to do a run it straight competition, then you should at least, put some odds out. Get the TAB involved to put some odds out. Fans first, that sort of thing. And, like odds of someone going to hospital in the back of an ambulance or, whether or not Jason Hoyt's crayfish legs will get him over the line, that sort of thing.
How weak is that from you guys and Radio Hauraki? That you're just running in 100 metres when Run It exists.
Hey.
This is immediately I thought the big news is Run It, and then I hear you guys are running 100 metres in a straight line, not at each other.
See, this half news that is coming out. Okay, don't know why I'm involved. I'm doing a favour for the breakfast show for Mania and Jeremy because Jeremy can't. They've challenged breakfast to 100 metres. Jeremy can't run because he's got old man knees and he's got
and he's had
arthritis.
A carrot inserted in his ass for about 2 decades.
Yeah, a couple
Correct.
of decades.
So I said, they said, do you want to race for him? I said, sure. But then it's blown up into this sad old middle-aged men running a 100-metre relay.
Well, I listened to the Big Show podcast on it, and just
I've said run it straight. I said I'm quite happy to run it straight.
Yeah, and I think Jason Hoyt would get less injured by running into someone over 10 metres than he will a full 100-metre run.
Oh, you think it might loosen him up a bit, like a appointment at the chiropractor's?
I just think he needs, I think a good jolt to the front of Jason Hoyt might straighten some things out, but I just think over 100 metres, that's definitely a fatality, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a cardiac. It's a cardiac issue. The run it straight stuff. Oh, so he's died down now, but it's going to come back again.
Oh, I heard it in the news this morning on ZB, but more neuroscientists have come out.
God.
Like they've never heard of rugby league.
Or rugby.
Or rugby.
Or UFC.
Yeah.
But do you see the backyard UFC competitions that are popping up?
Yeah.
Have you seen that? Dan Hooker was commentating it in the weekend. I'll show you this, Matt. This looks like the kind of thing you'd be into.
It's like all these people that are complaining about this don't know what boys do. Like,
so this is the backyard UFC that's going on in the backyards of.
Wants me to follow it? Do you want to follow
it? Not now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So basically, what's happening now is people are just having fist fights in the backyard with about 100 people watching on. And then just go and hammer and tong.
Are they gloved up?
UFC gloves, like just enough to...
But kids have been doing this forever. Like my son and his friends, they go out and they take boxing gloves with them because they, before they go out, they always have fights. It's like these people that they get to talk on the news don't understand anything about the world.
Yeah.
That boys just do this kind of shit and have for all of time and will for all of time. And you just see an organised version of something like that where there is actually going to be medics around and there's a possibility of someone, and you've absolutely
Shut it down.
It's like you just don't know what boys are like. I mean, I'm sure you're closer to that age than I am, but I bet your mates used to have boxing matches before they went out and such.
Oh, yeah, soft sock boxing was something that we used to run in our hallway.
Soft cock boxing?
No, soft sock
Oh,
boxing.
Okay.
I mean, majority of the time the cock was soft, but we didn't call it that.
Hard cock boxing would be something.
Oof.
Yeah, that was
terrifying.
Wow, we never even thought of that. No, we just put our woollier socks on and then jump on the wood floor in the hallway at Centennial Ave down there in Rickerton and just kind of throw hands.
Because my son said to me not so long ago, he goes, "Oh, how was your night last night?" He goes, "Oh, it was good once we got out, but I got fucking absolutely knocked unconscious by Gabby." And so I sort of came round, like we were boxing, and then he got me one right in the face.
Yeah.
And then I later on I uppercut him, and so there was a bit of it took a while for the beers to kick in, so we could go out.
Yeah.
That's the way it's always been.
And
So the idea that you're going to suddenly completely cleanse the world where people aren't attracted to being that kind of thing.
We've said it before and we will say it again, and I know people will get sick of hearing this, but the more people rally against it, I assure you, the more people want to do it. And I don't
get some absolute wound of some shit Southland University that some journalist has run up and described it down the phone to them, and they do full henny penny and scream that the chicken licking sky is falling.
Yeah, and people between the age of 18 and 25
just are
so far removed from it. They don't give a shit.
Well, did you see Reece Walsh recently got in a bit of trouble because he hooked his mate? They videoed at his backyard. Did you see that?
Oh,
They
no, I
were
didn't
having
see
a little
that.
punching fight and he just went bank and just clocked his mate, and his mate just KO'd, gone backwards. And they put it out on social as a laugh.
Do you reckon nut tap would be a good sport?
The nut tap is still going strong.
Yeah.
Don't worry
But like
about
as
that.
an organised sport.
Oh, yeah, as an organised sport. Well, I found out that Martin Guptill put Dan Vittori in hospital with a nut tap.
Yeah.
Yeah, while on tour.
You don't fuck with Gup.
No. I imagine he'd be quite accurate on the sack tap.
Oh, mate, he can hit one stump from the 30-yard circle.
Yeah, that's true, actually. That is true.
Yeah.
He's not going to miss a sack.
I wouldn't want to enter the sack tap nationals, though.
Not as much glory in it, eh?
Nah.
Nah.
And also, it's one of those...
Not a lot of love in that competition.
Yeah, it's also...
And then, so what, do you have to sneak up on them?
Yes, you got to take someone by surprise.
So someone's in the arena and he's just looking around. It's like panto, have you been to those British pantos?
He's behind you.
He's behind you. What?
He's behind you.
Wouldn't work.
Nah, it wouldn't.
You've got to look. You've got to stand looking the wrong direction.
Yeah, or do you have a mannequin that's set up and it's all about accuracy, so you can almost perform before you do the stack tap, so you can come and do a forward roll, maybe a flip, and then go bah, and just hit the sack, and then you get judged.
Yeah.
Maybe?
It's kind of like the Savannah Bananas.
Yes. Yeah.
You, the more you do before you catch the ball.
Yeah, it's theatre.
Yeah.
Anyway. Maybe not.
Love it.
Next one. Last one. Yours, please.
Boys, this is just an absolutely punishing amount of fucking relay chat admin.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, why don't you just fucking run it straight?
Oh, 100%.
Just said
Very
that.
good facilities.
Just said that.
They're in Auckland, and I'd love to see Lane just fucking skittle the crayfish. I mean, that'd be good.
Yeah, I mean, this is an elephant in the room for this whole thing. I mean, I've never heard more talk about some people travelling 100 metres in the history of the world. I mean, I've travelled 100 metres today,
there needs to be more jeopardy. Someone needs to die.
Yeah, and so
get close to dying.
Well,
not die. Get close to dying. Maybe a broken leg or a concussion.
I've heard that HR are suggesting you have to have a defibrillator there.
Can I read you this message? Am I allowed to read this message?
There's
a
no
message that I'm still in the Hodaki Breakfast WhatsApp for some reason. And there was a message that was put in there
It was one of the great days of my life when I left that.
Oh, I don't know why I'm still in it, but it's because messages like this pop up again and again. From Australian content director Pixie Campbell, who's the boss of Radio Hauraki. He put a message in on Friday late evening. Holy shit, there's a lot of stuff going on here. Let me just pull this up. And it was along the lines of, also, I mentioned to HR, sorry, I mean, this is not going to make sense, this message. You would have been a couple of Savvy Bees deep, whatever. Also, I mentioned to Kate, in brackets, HR, she would like us to have a defib on site that we can keep at the station for the event. Don't get me wrong, there could be some funny content behind this, but they do insist that a defibrillator does need to be there for the likes of the older gentleman running this 400-metre relay.
Oh, I mean, has this done irreversible damage to Radio Hauraki's image?
I think so.
Yeah,
I think so.
You can't come back from shit like this.
But yet,
you'd know that.
Yeah, you can't. It's a PR disaster.
It is a PR disaster.
And the only way to turn it around is for you to get ahead by 10 metres of Jason Hoyt and then circle back around and run at it straight.
And clothesline him. Yeah. That's why I was thinking about that.
Is there anything in the rules that says you have to run from the same start at the same end?
No. I'm suggesting we line 4 on 4 at each end of the 100 metres and just you stay in your lane. So you stay in your lane. They're coming at you in their lane. And you're going
hold your lane.
Yeah, hold your lane. And whoever gets to the other end, their 4 gets to the other end, they win.
Did you boys see the video that came out on Friday from the Big Show of the 4 of them doing a 100-metre kind of run as a bit of a trial?
Yeah.
I was a little impressed, I have to say, especially by Chris Key. His stride was a bit longer than I thought.
Yeah, Chris Key. And he'll have been training non-stop. He'll be wanting to make a statement.
Minogue was quite upright.
Minogue's in fucking good shape.
Quite upright. I mean, wouldn't be good for run it straight.
People need to go to the new Mission Impossible movie, which I think is fantastic. But you want to do a full Tom Cruise run with the high hands.
Yeah.
With the pointed.
Oh yeah. Yes, he loves the pointy high hands. I might do that actually.
Yeah, you got to do a Tom Cruise. But yeah,
I quite like the idea of me overtaking Hoyt, spinning 180, circling around, and then just snapping him in half.
Like you're not even part of Radio Hauraki. Like
I know.
There's nothing that they can do to punish you. Like,
well, that's what they said to me on Friday. They said we've accepted the deal. I mean, because I do a sports thing with them on Fridays, and I was like, what deal? Like, and he goes, oh, do you not know? I was like, you don't realise? No, I'm just filling in. He goes, well, if you lose, you have to do breakfast and drive, and I'm like, I'm not doing shit. I'm not doing anything. They're like, you have to, and I'm like.
No, I mean, I might circle around and clothesline Jason Hoyt, but apart from that, I'm not committing to anything.
I mean, look,
you wouldn't want to circle around and fucking try and clothesline Mike Minogue. He'll go full Levin on you.
Oh, yeah, he would.
Yeah. He's got a rocking bod, that guy.
Yeah,
he is a fucking absolute beast and pure.
It runs quite upright though. It runs quite chest forward, which I think if you're running it straight. And a head-on collision is not ideal.
Yeah,
but there's a lot more man in Minogue than there is in Hoyt.
You're not running, are you, Mesh?
No, I'm not running. No, I didn't get the call.
What about if you go along and then you just pass the ball to G Lane at about the 50-metre mark, and then everyone will go, "Oh, this is turning into run it."
Yeah,
he's got a ball. G Lane's got a ball. He's going to run it.
I'll be down there. I can't wait for it.
Yeah, how about I just go to the finish line because I know Hoyt's their anchor, and then I'll just go to the finish line and then just run the other way.
Yeah.
Just watch him just...
So do we have any idea on when it's going to be yet?
No idea. I have no idea. I think it was on Thursday, but I can't do Thursday.
Because I just feel like we might be at risk soon of talking a lot about it and there being no follow-through. And follow-through is important to me here on the agenda.
And also there is no real jeopardy, is there? That's what we're talking about. There's no real
there's a radio show on the line for those boys, but not for you or us or the listener.
But I mean, Chris Key is young and healthy.
Yes.
Ish.
Yeah.
So he'll win. How's Mania? Can Mania run?
He can move.
I've never seen Mania. I've seen him get a
pace. When you watch the trots, and then there's that starting gate, and they give them a while to kind of warm up to get full pace. It's a bit like that. So if you were only taking between the 20 and the 60 metre time, quick.
And did you ever watch Marty Bella play for Manly?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good example.
Right. So I reckon when you turn it to run it, you're going to have to choose because I wouldn't run it at Mania or Minogue.
Fuck no.
I'd back myself to run it at any of those guys in the drive show.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
On the drive show, yeah.
Handy P.
Why?
Pugsan's a big unit, but...
You reckon you got him?
I reckon I got him.
Yeah. Experience.
Yeah.
It'll come through.
Yep.
Hey, shall we tie a ribbon on this shit?
I get.
See, just when I
see
said
the red mist.
Just when I said there's been too much talk on it.
You've just talked about it.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's the race to stop the nation, though, mate. It really is.
Well, what about
it's the race that'll stop someone's heart.
Look, see, if I was still at Radio Hauraki, I would have pushed for it to be in the nude or something, just to give it another.
Yeah, G-bang.
And that's why they miss you.
Yeah.
And that's why they miss you over there.
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking about doing it in the beige onesie.
Yeah, that's good.
The Kathy Freeman.
All right.
Okay.
No, that'll be good.
So
I'll be tuning in.
Yep.
Sounds
good.
Okay.
Fuck yous.